need my job, but then you would be looking at the real champions, and you would say who the real champions are.
Brian,
when you beat Diego Corrales, who else was the world champion?
I'm the truth. I never ducked or dodged no opponents. Whoever they put in front of me, I have beat. Give me the #1 guy. If the #1 guy don't want to fight, I move to the #2. Baltimore don't want to fight.
What about Ricky
Hatton? We had
Hatton?
a chance to fight Baltimore.
What about Ricky Hatton, the champion of junior welter?
I asked to go over to England and fight Ricky Hatton. His dad said his son is not ready for me yet.
His dad said that. All right, that's according to you. I'll bring it back to them and I'll see what they say.
Hey, guess what, Brian Kenny? Learn about the sport of boxing. Then talk to me.
That's ridiculous, Floyd.
What you see Floyd Mayweather going through right now is what he has went through his entire boxing career. Never, at no point in time, anybody who he has faced or it was finna face that they did not scrutinize him for. He was always scared of the person before he fought him. There were always nothing after he fought him. Time and time and time and time again. And what is it now? I guess people are mad about Floyd Mayweather being named Fighter of the Decade. This is completely amazing to me, as if you don't know why, and as if the man doesn't deserve it. But I'll tell you something that's even more incriminating than that, okay? The fact that you have all these people coming up with all these excuses why he got Fighter of the Year. Oh, he bought Fighter of the Year. What? Mayweather has Fighter of the Year? What the hell is going on? This, that, and the third. Look how everybody's crying about him being Fighter of the Year. And check this out. Manny Pacquiao already got Fighter of the Decade and Fighter of the Year 3 years in a row. He can't have it one time. You see what I'm talking about? Okay, look at that right there. That's right, the whole boxing world. Look at yourself. Look at yourself. Manny Pacquiao has had it 3 years in a row, and he can't have it one time. Everybody's got to, it's always got to be excuse why he won something, why he did this, and why he did that, always throughout his entire career. But I'm going to digress, and we're going to keep going.
That's
you know
ridiculous.
Nothing about boxing. You never had a fight. You know nothing about boxing.
Well, that's not true. But anyway, I'm not at your level, but that's not true.
I can have your job easy because I know about the game. You don't know nothing about the game.
If you had my job and you had the same opinions that you have now, you wouldn't be doing this very long. Because you have to speak the truth, Floyd, and you're not doing it right now.
You're a great commentator, but you don't know nothing about boxing.
You know what? But you're doing something that's self-serving now, but it hurts your credibility because you were never the champion at 140, and you're not going to be a champion at 147.
You don't know nothing about boxing.
Well, that's not true. Hey, would you fight Ricky Hatton in Vegas if the split wasn't in your favor?
I will fight Ricky Hatton anywhere.
And once again, who are they pressuring him to fight? Ricky Hatton. Now, y'all all remember what Floyd Mayweather did to Ricky Hatton, don't you? I think you do. Okay? Now, let's see. After Floyd Mayweather beat Ricky Hatton, can any of you guys remember the excuses for that one? Because that's actually one I don't remember. I'm pretty sure something was going on. I just don't remember what it was. You see, and that's the entire thing. This entire time. And keep in mind, Manny Pacquiao was voted or looked at as, and they might as well say they voted him as, the greatest fighter of all times. I know y'all remember that. That wasn't too long ago. You know what I'm saying? The greatest fighter of all times. When Manny Pacquiao got Fighter of the Year 3 years in a row, when Manny Pacquiao got Fighter of the Decade, I don't remember anybody making any videos like, what the fuck, he doesn't deserve it, blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that. I don't see those videos. I don't see none of those videos. But it's always like that for Floyd. Always. And this is why I always got to do shit like this. Because I forever know what it is. And the last thing it is boxing. Okay? You hating on this guy getting Fighter of the Decade. All he did was beat your favorite fighter.
Give me my props where the props is deserved. God has truly blessed me. I'm a great fighter, and you a commentator that's a good guy, but you don't know about the sport of boxing. You never had a fight in your life. Only thing you do, you have an opinion. Learn about the sport of boxing.
No, that's not true. Did you beat Costa Tszyu?
Huh? I'll stomp on Costa Tszyu.
You did
he
what?
had a chance. He never brought my name up. You know that.
No, but you didn't fight him. And he stopped Costa Tszyu, and he became the world champion at 140.
And look at that. Here we go again. And who do they talk about? Arturo Gatti. Now, y'all all remember what Floyd Mayweather did to Arturo Gatti, don't you? I think you do. If you ever want to watch, matter of fact, I haven't seen another man beat like that in the ring since. Matter of fact, I challenge somebody to find me a high-level fighter like Floyd Mayweather with the same popularity, same notoriety, and everything. Find me somebody else that's another high-level fighter like Arturo Gatti was at least supposed to be. Find me somebody the last time somebody put an ass whooping on somebody like that. You'll be hard-pressed. Watch Arturo Gatti versus Floyd Mayweather. That was a straight-up ass whooping. Period. That was gruesome. Matter of fact, that was the fight where he messed up his hands, according to Mayweather. But once again, Arturo Gatti was this big, bad, nobody can stop him. He got all this power and stuff like that. He was all that up until the fight was signed. As soon as the fight was signed, Mayweather was the heavy favorite. Once again, like always, the same story repeats itself. A never-ending cycle here. Okay? He beat the brakes off Arturo Gatti. Beat him to a pulp. Okay? And then they said Arturo Gatti, but nothing. But peep this about Arturo Gatti. Arturo Gatti was HBO's golden boy. He was everything. You know what I'm saying? Everything. They built him up. They blew him up. And people loved him. Even though he didn't fight nobody. Straight up. Nobody cared that his career was a puff piece. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't until, check this out. It wasn't until Floyd Mayweather was finna fight Arturo Gatti that they finally told the truth about him before Floyd Mayweather beat him, just to take the air out of the victory.
The guy who is designated by Ring Magazine right now as the champion of the division is Ricky Hatton. He's sitting at ringside tonight. Floyd Mayweather figures he's going to educate the ring along with everybody else tonight. And Larry Merchant, a mismatch is indeed possible, but of course, fortunately for the entertainment value of the sport, there are a lot of people who thought that Carlos Mausa would be outclassed against Vivian Harris. When we talk about Gatti, and obviously the point has been made, he had a great life going here in Atlantic City, fighting opponents who were chosen partially because he was expected to beat them, making $2 million per fight, and enjoying the extreme adoration of the crowd, which is again here tonight. Why risk all that by fighting Pretty Boy Floyd?
Because it still makes dollars and cents. Gatti, being Gatti, wanted to test himself against one of the best. His handlers, being handlers, didn't want that fight. But they figured that some young gun might come along anyway and beat Gatti. So they went for the biggest event possible, for the biggest money possible, for a kind of annuity for a very worthy warrior.
He beat Constantine when Constantine was over the hill.
Well, but he had the title. Maybe you should have fought him.
Became champion.
But then
no
you
matter what you say.
And also, now, what about Zab Judah? He got the world title at 140 by knocking out Zab Judah. That's the guy you're fighting. So he's still up there. Hatton beat the guy who you're fighting.
Listen, Ricky Hatton won't even leave England. I'm willing to go to England.
He's coming to Las Vegas for his next fight.
I'm willing to come to England.
And he's probably going to fight for the welterweight title. What will you do then?
We can fight next. We can fight next. You know me. Sport, I accomplished what I had to accomplish. Now it's time for me to become a promoter.
So are you saying you're not going to fight a Miguel Cotto, a young, up-and-coming, strong fighter that a lot of people would like to see you in
Miguel Cotto is one hell of a champion.
And see, and here we go again. They went from Arturo Gatti to Ricky Hatton to now they talking about a Miguel Cotto. And you guys remember what Floyd Mayweather did to Miguel Cotto, don't you? I think you do. This man has never got his credit, ever. That's what this video is meant to show you. Everybody he has ever fought was the shit, was the Dalai Lama of boxing up until Mayweather fights him. Right after Mayweather fights him, guess what? They're no longer good, and they're shoving another opponent down his throat. When are you going to fight this guy? When are you going to fight that guy? Floyd, you can't be considered the best unless you do this. Floyd, you can't be considered the best unless you do that. When that's the same speech they gave to him before he fought his last opponent. And then when he fights him, they regurgitate that same speech again. Oh, well, if you want to be looked at as that, when are you going to fight this person? When are you going to fight that person? Let's proceed. Peep what Larry Merchant says to him next.
Come on, just this last thing. Come on over, Floyd. You want to go down as one of the best or the best fighters around. The best fighters have always taken on all the challenges out there. Like a Cotto or a Vernon Forrest or a Winky Wright, whoever is out there, so that you can do your thing.
I've done what I had to do in sports.
Floyd Mayweather only has one flaw in his career. That he wasn't white. Real talk. His biggest flaw in his career is that he wasn't white. Because if he had been, oh my God, the dynamic and how things would change just behind that alone is amazing. But don't let me talk. Let me give you an example. You remember the clip I showed you earlier of how they tried to tear down Arturo Gatti as nothing right before Mayweather went in the ring to destroy them, right? You remember what Jim Lampley and Larry Merchant said, right?
When we talk about Gatti, and obviously the point has been made, he had a great life going here in Atlantic City. Fighting opponents who were chosen partially because he was expected to beat them. Making $2 million per fight. And enjoying the extreme adoration of the crowd, which is again here tonight. Why risk all that by fighting Pretty Boy Floyd? Why risk all that by fighting Pretty Boy Floyd? Why risk all that by fighting Pretty Boy Floyd?
Now, did you see that right there? Why risk all that by fighting Pretty Boy Floyd? Do you see how they try to play the black American fighter? Do you see that? He basically told you on national television that Arturo Gatti fights cherry picks and hand-picked fights. Why are you going to risk fighting Floyd Mayweather when we loved you for fighting the subpar competition and you making $2 million per fight? Why risk that fighting Floyd? Do you see how that is? But when it comes to Floyd, the black American fighter, he has to fight threat after threat after threat. Why he's not fighting this person? Why he's not fighting that person? Okay, you beat him, but when are you going to fight him? Okay, you beat him, but when are you going to fight him? And when it came to Arturo Gatti, they turned around and said, dude, why are you going to mess this up? You got a good thing going. You got a good life going over here at HBO. We're paying you for nothing. You're selling out for fighting on anybody. So why are you trying to mess it up? Okay, that's the biggest and the most crystal clear, perfect example that you can have right there. And that's when this all comes back to it. It's all coupled together when it comes to trying to judge Floyd Mayweather and deciding what he deserves and where he decides to be placed. It'll be forever biased because the last thing it is boxing. And let me throw you this on your brain before I get up out of here. Okay, to add on top of that, Manny Pacquiao is finna win Fighter of the Year again. So what is that, 4 years in a row? There's nobody going to be crying about he doesn't deserve this and he doesn't deserve that and all that. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you want to put Manny so far over Floyd Mayweather when both of them are up there. But it's always a must. You got to put him over this guy. Everybody got to be over Floyd. You try to make him to try to be over Floyd. But at the end of the day, nobody's calling out Manny Pacquiao for no fight. Nobody's calling out Manny Pacquiao really for no fight, whether he's retired or active. People still to this day, from MMA fighters to YouTubers to Japanese kickboxers, everybody always calls out Floyd. Okay? If you're so much of the best, you know what I'm saying? How come nobody ever demands to have you come out of retirement to fight this guy, fight this 20-year-old something MMA fighter, fight this fight this female MMA fighter, fight this street guy, fight this boxer, fight this guy, fight this. Yeah, people want him to fight everything. And why? By doing that alone, you regard him as the best, because nobody's ever trying to kick and scratch to fight no Manny Pacquiao. And most people say, well, they want to do that because of the payday. They can't get a payday with Manny Pacquiao. And that's, you know what? And that's even more revealing than that. Manny Pacquiao has an entire country behind him, but he can't sell out or be bigger lucratively or financially than a guy who's hated in his own country. So what does that tell you about the power of love and the power of hate? Manny Pacquiao has an entire country behind him. Floyd Mayweather has an entire country against him. And he still sells better than a person with a country behind him and with his own country turning against him and loving the opposing side or loving the foreign fighter. Still. So if that don't tell you something, nothing never will. But anyways, that's my thoughts on it for now. I will be back with a part 2 so I can come back and clean up all the tears that I know is going to be in my comment section. Anyways, Bruce Van, I'm out.
They've done this sport. 6-time world champion, 5 different weight classes, 20 championship fights. I fought the best from all over the world, from De La Hoya to Ricky Hatton, and the list goes on and on. I have nothing else to prove to the world. Like I said before, I'm not going to let boxing retire me. I'm going to retire from boxing